Hi there, Dave with Crandall Office, and today we're going to be covering how to assemble your Haworth Very chair that you bought from CrandallOffice.com through the Haworth Open Box Returns program. I do want to make a quick note that this is going to be a different process than if you are purchasing this chair brand new from Haworth. This is only going to be applicable if you're purchasing directly from us through the Haworth Open Box Returns program. So without further ado, let's get started. 1, 2, 3, go! All right, so the first thing you need to do is to get the box open, all the parts out, so that we can begin assembly. So let's do that now. All right, so now that we've got everything out of the box, let's get all the packaging removed so that we can get started assembling the chair. Okay, so now that we've got everything out of the box, the components that we're gonna see are number one gonna be the chair core. This is gonna have the gas cylinder pre-installed, so you don't need to worry about anything there. We're also gonna have the back frame here, and if your chair was spec'd with the lumbar, we're gonna have the lumbar here as well. You're also gonna see your hardware. You've got the two large back attachment bolts, as well as the lumbar attachment bolt. All three of these screws are gonna use the same T40 Torx bit that we are gonna provide. Again, you're not gonna see this if your chair didn't come with the lumbar. All right, so the first step in assembling your Haworth Very chair is gonna be to install the back onto the chair core. So I'm gonna slide this over here so you guys can see a little bit better. But all we're gonna do here is take this back frame and we're gonna line it up with these two posts here on the back. You're gonna see everything's just gonna slide right into place. No big deal there. Next, what I'm going to do, first I'm going to grab these two screws, make sure they're accessible, and also grab your T40 Torx bit that we're gonna provide with the chair. And I'm gonna be installing this on an impact driver. You can easily do this step with a hand tool as well, but you're gonna need to make sure you got that T40 ready to go. Now next, I like to, when I'm installing this, to kind of lean this up onto the front edge. You're gonna wanna make sure you got a little bit of positive pressure holding this back into place as we do this so it doesn't fall out of place. But next you're going to take your first screw and you're going to insert it into the hole that is underneath the chair, underneath the frame here. I will show you some close-ups of this. And then you're going to go ahead and tighten this into the back frame. And so I'm using an impact driver. You're gonna see it's gonna take a few seconds for this to fully seat. What you wanna do is make sure while you're tightening this, that you're watching the screw head to see when it makes contact with the bottom of the surface here to make sure that you're not over tightening. Once you're in place and that's tightened up against the surface here, you're gonna be all done. Let's go ahead and tighten this one. And you'll see that it stops spinning and it flattens out against the bottom. So next we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna insert this and we're gonna tighten things up. All right, so now that we got those tightened up, everything is in place there. Next, we're going to grab our lumbar support, and that's gonna slide into this back piece here. And we're gonna get that all lined up and slid into place. It's gonna take a little bit of back and forth wiggling to make sure that that's tight in there. And then we're gonna take the lumbar screw here, and that's gonna go right here in the center. And we're going to go ahead and install that and tighten it up. Again, we wanna make sure that we're not over tightening this, so make sure to keep an eye on the screw as it tightens up. Perfect. And you can see I kept tightening it as it continued to pull it into place, but everything feels tight and secure now. Everything is now fully assembled. We can set our chair upright, set our impact driver to the side, and now we're ready to use our brand new Haworth Very chair. All right, so now that we have the chair fully assembled, let's make sure to give the chair a quick function test to make sure that everything is working properly. The first thing we're gonna do is just check the arms, make sure the arms are, so they got pivot functions in and out, they slide forward and back, and you also have height adjustment on these arms. Make sure all of that is working properly if your chair was spec'd with any of that. Next, we're gonna take a look at this seat slider. That's gonna be this lever here on the left-hand side of the chair when you're sitting in the chair. You just go ahead and pull that lever outwards and make sure that the seat is sliding back and forth. Everything's working properly there. Next, we're gonna go ahead and sit in the chair to test the height adjustment. So we're gonna, this big paddle here in the front, and we're just gonna make sure that it goes up when you don't have weight in it, goes down when you do. and stays in place. Looks like everything's working properly here. Next, you're going to make sure that your backstop is working properly. So you can see I can lean all the way back in the chair now. This is that back lever, and you're going to push downwards on that to make sure that that is engaging and stopping you from leaning back. There is going to be a little bit of give here in between the upright position and when it stops leaning back, so that is to be expected and working properly, but you can see I'm prevented from leaning any further back than that. Next, we're going to tilt this in the upright position. This is going to be an optional component, so if your chair is spec'd with the forward tilt, if you tilt this up, lean back, you'll hear that click, and all of a sudden you're now going to be able to move or be in it's about a 5% lean forward position to be in a more perched forward leaning position. As we can see, that's working properly. I'm going to disengage that, lean back, you'll hear that click again. Now I'm in a more neutral position. So that seems to be working properly as well. The last thing we're gonna take a look at is to make sure that the lumbar is working properly. So we're gonna make sure that this is adjusting up and down. You see that's just gonna be a simple slide adjustment, and that when we're turning the dials, that these will turn independently, so that's to be expected, but making sure that that's providing some additional pressure in there. Everything appears to be in good working order, so we're good to go. If you do run into any issues, please reach out to somebody on our team so we can get that taken care of for you. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video on how to assemble your Haworth Open Box Returns Very chair. If you found this video helpful, please click the like and subscribe buttons below. It really helps us out. Also, make sure to check out the adjustment guide. We'll have a link in the description below to make sure you know how to adjust your brand new chair, really make it fit you and know exactly how everything works. Also, if you have any interest in learning more about the Haworth Open Box Returns program with Crandall Office Furniture, we're gonna have a link in the description below. But essentially, we're doing a similar program with Haworth as we have been with Steelcase and selling a very lightly used returned chairs at a pretty significant discount. So you'll be able to get into a like new Haworth chair for a fraction of the cost of new. So make sure to click that, learn about that program. We're excited about it and excited to be partnering with Haworth on this. So again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We appreciate your business, and we'll see you next time. Action. No. All right. Okay, so see, now I screw up. Can't even say it did. That's not good. Okay. I apologize to anybody I may have offended. All right, so the first step after receiving your chair, how should I? And there, we are tightened up. Everything's in place. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Just kidding.
All right, so the first step to getting this, first step to assembling your Haworth Very. All right, so the first step in assembling, not installing.